Party on, dudes! It's the 2-minute Terminator. I'm mixing up Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and the Terminator. My name's Ethan McKinley, and Ellie needs to turn the volume down on her clip.
Hey, I'm Ellie Fitzgerald.
Hi, Ellie.
Hi, Ethan. How are you?
I'm good. It's episode 37. I don't know what we're going to call the clip, so bear with us. We are going from minutes 112 to minutes 114. That's 72 minutes to 74 minutes. The 2 minutes bridging those gaps. And it starts with, if my own mother won't, and it ends with, we have to get as far away from the city as possible. Acting. Thank you.
Acting. So what have you done this evening, Ethan?
Hit the music. Ellie.
Watch out for machines, they're unstoppable. Watch out for machines, they will rule the world.
Hi, and we're back. What have I been doing this evening, Ellie?
Yes, what have you been doing?
I did a lovely podcast with Bill S. Preston, Esquire, most excellent podcast, a non-heinous podcast with Bill and Ted star Alex Winter, who I didn't really know the breadth and size of his work, but he's been directing for like 25
what
years.
the fuck you were going to say then?
Well, I didn't see his penis, so don't worry.
Oh. So it was audio, not visual.
Yeah, sadly, the freaking Skype again. I don't know what's going on with the Skype in this house, but I went, hello, whoa, you're on video, because he wanted to just do it via audio. But he switched the camera on. I was like, oh, amazing, you're in Lego. And then he went, and went off the thing. So sadly, it's audio only. I'm going to put a bunch of clips and stills and all the footage from some of his films up on the YouTube site as he talks. So there'll be some kind of like geography to follow for the listeners and viewers.
Yeah.
Because Daniele Bellelli had a still image and we got 45 views on what should have been many thousands of views. So I think I need to put my efforts in and do YouTube.
So did you get on with him?
Oh, yeah, great. He couldn't have been more generous and giving and high energy and interesting to talk to. It was really good. I loved it.
Would you say it's one of your favourites?
It's in my top 2, I think.
Whoa! Who was the top?
Whoever I was most myself with on, I don't know, actually. You know what? I think the Drew one was pretty funny and good. But no, he was very good. I mean, well, sometimes a guest doesn't kind of bring the thunder and have not the passion for their subject, because they clearly do. But, I had lots of interesting questions to field him, and he kind of would throw the ball back in a sense and add and expand on that and stuff. So, no, it was great. I had a great time.
Awesome.
Alex Winter is the man.
He's the man.
And I even got to ask what's happening with Bill and Ted 3 from the horse's mouth.
But don't tell us, because it means that people will have to listen to your podcast to find out.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
well,
I've put it actually within the show as well. So if you want to find out, you're gonna have to listen to the whole thing. But it's only 30 minutes. It's quick.
What?
It's only 30 minutes, so it's a good, nice, tight format. It was really good.
Oh, tight format.
We hit lots of all our little pointers, and he got his point across, and he got to say what he wanted to. So yeah, he couldn't have been more helpful and giving and excellent. Most excellent.
Do you reckon he's gonna retweet the show and all that shit?
Well, I'm sure, and he's got like a producer at Trooper Productions, where he obviously his production company is. So I mean, I've just sent emails thanking him and stuff, and when the show drops, obviously you tweet it as opposed to just backing me up and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's fucking awesome. I'm very pleased for you.
Yeah. So yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah.
I've got my podcast confidence back.
Have you actually?
Yeah, I was so deflated after Daniele Bellelli. Not that it was his fault, but I think the bad Skype connection and it being so early in the morning for him, we kind of lost a connection on many levels, I guess.
Yeah, you didn't build up rapport between each other.
Rapport.
Rapport.
But no, we talked about his career as a child actor and stuff, and how he transitioned into directing, and was it difficult and blah blah blah. Did you know he was in The King and I on Broadway with Yul Brynner?
No?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Do you know who Yul Brynner is, Ellie?
Yeah, I know who Yul Brynner is.
Yeah.
On the odd occasion that you mention an actor's name, I do actually.
Do you remember Robin Asquith from the Confessions of a Window Cleaner or Driving Instructor movies from the 70s?
No.
That's the end of that conversation. Ellie, you've failed.
You're fired. You're fired. That's keeping it relevant. That's an Arnold Schwarzenegger quote. I mean, yeah, it's
Indeed.
from True Lies, but hey.
But they're all bad.
Yeah, but they were all bad. Okay, cool. So, have you got any facts for us so I can fact attack the shit out of it?
Well, as we've discussed on previous episodes, listeners, dear listeners, thank you for staying with us through the 6 minutes of dross we keep bookending these goddamn shows with. Our timeline is slightly skewed, so we're in the kind of Back to the Future 2 alternate 1985 of watching the special edition Terminator but going off Skynet edition notes. All the notes are fine, all the facts are fine, but they're happening in a slightly disproportionate time period now within the film we're watching, because we're going off the special edition and not the Skynet edition, because the Skynet edition
fucking damn it.
wouldn't work on the computers, but we're going to find a way around that and hopefully catch up and reset time.
Whoa!
Whoa! So,
Let's do the time up. Sorry. This is not the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I really want to be in that, you know.
the Hasta La Vista Baby line when he's trying to teach the Terminator, which it might actually come in the next 2 minutes, so you're going to hear about it then. That was Eddie's first day of shooting.
Oh, wow.
And the dialogue he had was taped
Are you
on the
giving
window.
facts without letting me do fact attack?
Yeah.
You fucker. Oh, I guess it's your birthday, like the eve of your birthday, so go on. do
Fact
what
attack. Ellie, did you know when it's possibly in the next 2 minutes actually, because the timeline, as we just mentioned, is fucked thanks to my idiocy and bad computing. The Hasta La Vista Baby line from Edward Furlong when he's trying to teach the Terminator some humanity and a bit of kind of like whip smart cockiness is actually Eddie's first day of shooting.
Way.
The dialogue in question, as I just mentioned, was taped to the dashboard and windshield of the car.
Of the car.
I'm
you
assuming
sound
it-
like fucking retrospective.
I'm assuming they were taped on the inside of the glass, otherwise he wouldn't be able to read it, or it'd be backwards. And yeah, Cactus Jacks gas station is a real place apparently, and it's just off the main highway by the Lancaster Pamldale Desert, 2 hours north of Los Angeles. The Hamburger stand was added later.
So you could actually go there and get your car fixed.
Yeah.
I want to go.
What do you think about that?
What do you think about that? Well, I need a car first, and then have license, and then I'll go.
And yes, listeners, it is in fact my birthday on October the 1st. I had a lovely,
Indeed, which is in like an hour and 2 minutes.
yeah.
Oh my fucking god! You don't look a day over 21.
Who'd have thought on my birthday 2 years ago I'd be editing together a podcast of speaking to Alex Winter? Wow, that's kind of cool.
Awesome! I'm pleased.
Not
Good.
awesome.
It's a good way to round up 39.
It is.
It is. Thank you. Fucking hell,
Medium
this is like an
setting.
interview. Okay, cool. So what can we discuss about this particular 2 minutes? We come in and John's being the adult and trying to talk sense into a woman.
Yeah.
And we get the CPU back in his brain. He's just like, was everything all right? He's like, yeah, everything's fine. No problems at all. Lies! Oh, you're going to be doing that throughout the whole show, aren't you?
Yeah.
Should we just talk about Billy Zane? Have you got up a soundboard? Is that what's happening right now?
Yeah. Right, well, ask your questions away. We're going to fly solo on this one. We've got the facts out of the way, Ellie, and we're kind of trapped in our own world of talking.
Cracked?
Well, usually we like spend an entire hour talking about everything but the goddamn film when we have plenty of facts to bounce off.
Everything
got
but the
no
goddamn
facts. And we've got nothing to say to each other.
Oh, that's not true. You've been talking about your podcast.
Maybe it can be the
Normally I
shortest
end up
episode
speaking
ever.
Over you. I normally keep on speaking over you, so I'm trying to get better at that. So I'm trying to wait till you've definitely finished speaking before I start.
Oh, no, that's quite all right.
Oh, no. I see you.
No, you're Judah well. When I come to London tomorrow, what time do I need to kind of be there at the latest? 5 o'clock?
Latest.
And where do I have to meet you?
Well, wherever.
What, come to Reigate or meet in London or what?
We can meet in London. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, I can't drive into London before 7 o'clock because of the congestion charge. Best episode ever, listeners. I'm sorry.
Let's discuss this afterwards.
Okay.
Fuck's sake.
Well, let's discuss what's happening in the scene.
Yes, please, let's. I want to know where I can buy that jacket that Sarah was wearing with the stitching on the back.
Ellie, that's a great question.
That's a great question.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so do you reckon the Terminator, going back to the beginning, do you reckon the Terminator had an inkling that something would have gone on? Would he have been aware of any concept of time? Because he was like, was everything okay?
Yeah, that's strange, I guess. I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, it's a bit like maybe if you turn your computer off and then you turn it back on again and it kind of catches up the time. Like when your computer's turned off, of course, the internal clock, I'm not sure how it works on a Mac, but maybe the clock keeps ticking over. Or when you turn the computer on, it connects to some kind of like cloud or local time zone and then resets its time so it's the right time.
Maybe. Who knows?
But yeah, I think him asking that obviously implies that a passage of time has gone by that is longer.
I just answered my own question. When the red vision comes up,
yeah,
if you look on the right, it says time elapsed. Maybe that's what it is.
Okay, yeah, good question. Good answer.
Good answer. That's it. Okay, second question. Is that actually Arnold sat in the chair all that time, or do you reckon that was a double?
What, in his waxy catatonia position?
Yeah. Technical jargon. I wish there was a button for that too.
You mean when he's in the background of the shot?
Yeah. Do you reckon that's actually him? Because it's very blurred, and I was wondering maybe Arnold was being a bit of a diva and didn't want to sit there for ages, and maybe they got someone to stand in. I don't know. I was just wondering.
I don't know. That's an interesting question because they were talking about Sean Connery last night on the James Bonding podcast of how he had a massive falling out with Cubby Broccoli and Cubby and Harry Saltzman because he did 4 Bond films obviously, and every time a film came out they didn't kind of renegotiate his contract and pay him more based on the earnings of the film, whereas what happens now, I think you know what, maybe that isn't incorrect because I know the Avengers actors don't really get that much of a pay scale versus kind of Robert Downey Jr. Really? Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. kind of got paid for the first Iron Man.
I fucking hate Robert Downey Jr. He's such an asshole.
I like Robert Downey Jr.
I know you do. That's your opinion.
No,
Can I have mine?
Robert Downey Jr. got a thing called the Nicholson deal.
What's that?
Well, in 1989, when Jack Nicholson played the Joker, he negotiated this unheard of deal, basically, where he'd get paid, I think, $15 million, which at the time was a ridiculous amount of money. And then he got some kind of back-end deal. So anything, not just featuring the image of Jack or his likeness, but even anything Joker-related to do with merchandise of the film on books, cassette tapes, action figures.
It's a cassette, is it?
It's a cassette, is it? He'd get a little piece. He'd get a little piece of the back end. So Jack, he might still be making money off it even now, but I know he got about, my God, over 60 million.
And so he should. He's the ultimate fucking pimp. I love Jack Nicholson. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
He famously once said, when I talk to girls without my sunglasses, I'm just an old pervert. When I've got my glasses on, I'm Jack Nicholson, baby.
He's meant to be of rather an amorous disposition, isn't he?
He did. Well, he came up to, oh God, what's the girl's name from Hunger Games? What's her name? Oh, God, I'm going to have to Google it.
I can't help you there, dude. I've never seen it.
I'm just going to Google it.
I'm going to Google it. Google it.
Don't type in Google into Google, Ethan. Type in Hunger Games, you stupid fuck.
Fuck. Faggot.
You can't say faggot anymore, really.
You fucking can. I can.
So
because I'm a girl.
automatically onomatopoeically satisfying. Anyway, Jennifer Lawrence is her name. She was at the Oscars, obviously, and they were doing like kind of press after the Oscars a couple of years ago. And Jack Nicholson brazenly, I'm going to put it as a link underneath the show, brazenly comes up behind her and literally starts chatting her up mid-interview. Yeah, he's just a pimp.
We've seen Jennifer Lawrence's Snatch, haven't we, Ethan?
Well, one of your friends who's did better than me in trying to find
hacker.
crazy shit on the internet you can never find. He actually found all the stuff that was embargoed by the press when she was kind of like did those naked photos. I believe they were
without the stars on them.
Yeah, I think they were being sent to Nicholas Hoult. No, well, I think the ones you saw in the ones you saw with stars on, yes, but you only saw about 3 pictures in the press, whereas the ones you obtained, there was about 10 of them.
Yep. Oh yes, at every fucking angle.
And you're like, oh, I didn't like her before, but now I know she's a bit crazy.
What? Because she sent some naked photos.
Yeah, come on, what girl does that? My hat's off to you, Jennifer Lawrence, and not doing that. You know, giving the full service, just going more above and beyond your Call of Duty. Anyway, back to Jack Nicholson. He got a shitload of money basically for Batman, and Downey Jr. essentially got kind of the Nicholson deal. He got an initial piece of the pie. He got a paycheck. When it was a massive hit, he essentially started the Marvel brand. Iron Man was the first real successful that put Marvel Studios, as we know them now, on the map. That basically meant he could renegotiate his contract because no one else at that point could be Iron Man. The same way Christopher Reeve, of course, is indelibly attached to Superman, and no one can ever come close to that performance or him, you know, in the cape, as it were.
Not even Henry.
Robert Downey Jr. will forever be Iron Man for an entire generation of people. So he got to renegotiate his contract and gets like 150 million or so every film, I think, now.
Jesus.
Because the Avengers and stuff as well, they do over $1 billion, some of them. I think Iron Man 3 did about 6 or 7. So even the solo films do almost $1 billion, and the Avengers, of course, do over $1 billion. Avengers Age of Ultron, of course, did 1.5 billion, I think. But Disney considers that a failure, apparently.
Jesus.
But as I said, like the other actors, Chris Hemsworth, who plays Thor, Chris Evans, who plays Captain America, Scarlett Johansson, Mark Ruffalo, who plays the Hulk, they, I think, just get their paycheck and that's it.
Yeah.
So far.
I'm pissed.
Yeah. So the only person that gets the Nicholson deal, as it were, is RDJ.
And Nicholson.
Sponsor this podcast, RDJ. Break me off a piece. You don't need the money.
If he comes on your show, I'll take back everything I said.
The only person I can think of publicly that we've found out has got that amount of money for a film is Tom Cruise, who, of course, launched his production company, Cruise Wagner Productions, with the first Mission Impossible that he produced. And he got his $50 million paycheck plus a piece of the back end, which maybe that's Jack Nicholson started off this trend of like big name actors doing that. But he made about 70 or 80 million off the first Mission Impossible alone. So he must easily get more than that now for the films, the Mission Impossible films.
I'm going to...
What was your original question? Sorry, I was waxing lyrical.
Dude, you're on fucking fire tonight. You could do this podcast yourself.
I know, I'm working on it.
What have you eaten? What have you had?
Well...
Let me guess. A cheese and tomato and poor man's pepper sandwich with a box of sweethearts and a strawberry trifle.
I went out at 4 o'clock. I got a massive fat bag of battered fish and chips from the local English fish and chip shop. And then I went into the pound shop and bought 2 litres of Coke and smashed the entire thing in one go. I was literally...
in one go.
Oh yeah, I was
to drink with Ethan because Ethan is our mate.
I was literally levitating off my seat talking to Alex Winter, so I was good. I like how I am now. I'm in my post-coital podcast, still high on 2 litres of sugar kind of thing. I need to do this every day, but I'd probably die.
No, because it's bad for you. Coca-Cola's the worst. Every now and again is fine. Not
of course.
Every day.
Every important podcast, I'll do it.
Exactly. Not this one. This one's just fun and games. Okay, so second question. Well, actually, no, I think this is like my third question.
By the way, just so you know, you can see Arnold slightly in the mirror while they're doing this scene, and it is in fact Arnold.
But it's very blurred, though.
Hmm.
See, look, did you see the elapsed time?
I can check it now.
Maybe that should be the screenshot.
Oh, wait, it could be Peter someone, he's stunt double, but I think that's got to be Arnold.
Arnold.
Time
Do we
elapsed,
also
time
think
elapsed.
that was really Arnold stood there in front of that window all that time? Because it could almost be a statue. He's literally not moving at all.
Yeah, I mean, that was Arnold. I mean, I can mention that. That was a fact attack I didn't actually write down. They didn't get Arnold.
Fact attack.
What was the other one we did yesterday and I had to do it?
It was... Oh, I remember what it was. It was... Shit. Trivia Schmivia.
Trivia Schmivia. Yeah, that shot they do when they show the passage of time and Arnold literally standing there for an entire night in one position. Yeah, they didn't get Arnold to stand there for 8 hours and film him with a time-lapse camera. He stood there for the entire time that you see him in that shot. They just kind of changed the lighting, essentially, so it goes from obviously night to day.
It looks so real.
It does. It looks very good.
It does look very good.
It does look very good.
But you still don't have an answer for me as where that jacket's from.
That jacket, well, actually, little story attached to that jacket. When I first saw Point Break in 1991, was trying to emulate Keanu Reeves by not ever skydiving or surfing and buying a motorcycle from
actually legitimately cool.
Yeah, and actually buying a bike based on Terminator 2. So nothing like Keanu Reeves. But at the end of Point Break, when he goes to watch, basically is it that giant wave when Bodhi Patrick...
The final surf that Swayze's gonna...
Yeah.
Well, he knows he's gonna die, doesn't he?
To catch his final big wave, and he kind of unhooks him from the... what is it? The handcuffs? And he's got long hair like a year later. Bells Beach, Australia. That's it. For the 50-year storm, Bodhi. No, he wears an identical Levi's. I'm not sure if this is the Levi's, but the one in the film is. And I bought a Levi's jacket, denim jacket based on this, and it had like a corduroy collar. Now I'm assuming that's the same kind of thing she's got because, like Point Break, this is a 1991 film.
Yeah, they're probably the same or very similar.
I think the thing on the back is basically just an iron-on patch.
It's just an iron-on patch.
And I'll wager, as it's probably stolen from this garage, the branding most likely is
some kind of car.
Cactus Jacks power station.
Ah. Wait, it's coming up again. It's coming up again.
By the way, yeah, time lapse. It says time elapse 1 minute 26 seconds.
Auto parts.
Oh, does it say that? Yeah, it must be for the business she stole it from then.
Yeah, she stole it. Why is it that whenever you steal something, it makes it so much better?
Because money won is twice as sweet as money earned.
No, but it's not always money, though.
That's the colour of money. Paul Newman. Tom Cruise.
Bitch better have my money. Yeah, we love that shit. Ethan, I've got another question for you.
Okay.
Don't you fucking yawn at me, you wanker.
Ellie.
Ellie! How many, throughout this movie, windows do you think Arnold Schwarzenegger breaks?
2.
In fact, scrap that. How many windows do you think get broken by Arnie in the whole of the Terminator franchise? He fucking loves doing that.
Does he? I can remember the first movie when he punches through the window of a car, and he rips the kind of steering block kind of cover off so he can hotwire it. He does it. He does it here when he gets this car. What other window does he walk through?
He doesn't walk through it.
Oh, he pushes it. He pushes an office desk through the Cyberdyne window later on in this film. But that's it. I think 3 times, maybe.
3 times later.
4 times in Genesis. 4 times in Genesis when he walks through the wall and the window of the interrogation room. I think that's it. I can't think of anything in 3 because I've not seen it that much.
How many is that in total?
I'm saying 4.
Okay. Well, next time we do a podcast, I'm going to have done my research.
How many windows are featured in the entire Terminator franchise? 47.
Windows. Are we learning yet? Who the fuck keeps their keys in that little pull-down mirror thing?
Yeah, movie rules. I don't know.
Jesus Christ, that would never happen.
It would never happen.
And what is with all these fucking estate hatchbacks?
Yeah, the old American kind of like...
I fucking hate those cars.
With paneling.
Oh, God, they just look fucking bad.
Well, I think there was that car in the 80s in American automotive design, I think, and manufacture. The cars got very, very boring looking. I think things are coming back now. They make really good muscle cars again, like the Camaro and shit looks wicked, obviously. Anyone listening will know Bumblebee from the Terminator. Sorry, the Transformers movies is a yellow Chimera. That car looks freaking banging. But
are those movies worth watching?
no, the first one's okay, and then the second one, it features a Transformer that looks exactly like a hot chick.
It's a Transformer.
I think we found a Transformer. Good old Marky Mark. Yeah, there's a Transformer in it that can look exactly human with nanotechnology, which defeats the purpose of the rest of the Transformers existing then.
I started to watch it years ago when I was at uni, but I was coming down, and then my mate brought a load of salvia, and that was way more fun to watch people trip out on that than Transformers. So I missed out on that.
Well, the first one
was like,
the first one's good, I suppose, because it's got more of Spielberg's fingerprints on it, produced the film. So it's like a boy who gets his first car, and it turns out the car is this magic, and it's magical robot
it's not
and
Christine,
stuff.
I'm sure.
No, but it's got that kind of like my car's kind of possessed and stuff thing going on. So that's all cool, but the second, the third, now the fourth, they're like 3 hours long, and they don't really make sense, and the Transformers look too like busy and weird and too detailed. So no, they're not worth watching. On that note, they've greenlit a fifth Transformers film.
Fuck off.
I think with Marky Mark and the new cast, it's going to be like a second trilogy. They make lots of money.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Feel it, feel it, feel it.
In their denim and their puffer jackets and their caps.
Exactly.
And their fucking cat boots.
Hey, cat boots were big in the early 90s.
They're fucking horrible. I hate those. Any kind of like clumpy boot, like DMs. Like, I just think they look like shit, and everyone's like, oh my god, they're so cool. Now, I'll be honest with you, when I was a kid at school, I used to wear steel toe cap DM boots to school.
We've stopped listening, Ellie.
Tune.
Marky Mark.
I know. It's an amazing track. Good vibration.
God. Sing, Marky Mark. This must be a remix.
Remix.
Don't come in, we're recording. Anyway, why is it whenever I'm in this room and recording shit, people want to come in the room? Whenever I'm not doing anything, you never see anyone?
Well, maybe because you haven't been out for a while, they're just checking that you haven't killed yourself.
Right.
He will see his birthday.
Well, there's one thing actually in this scene which we're overlooking, which we really shouldn't, because I guess it's kind of I suppose one of the cruxes of the scene, if you will. There's that bit where Arnie's looking out the window and Sarah's kind of smoking her cigarettes and studying this kind of like, yeah, and she's doing that famous speech of like, he's this like weird, more appropriate than any that have come before him father figure.
What do you think's going through her head at that point?
I wonder if he's got a dick.
Dude, literally, what I was going to say was, can you fuck a robot?
Is he fully functional?
I would probably try. I know that makes me sound like the biggest hypocrite, because I'm all like, oh, these weird sex robots freak me out. I think it's the fact that they try to make them look as human as possible is the thing that really puts me off. It's like mannequins, or like, did you ever go to those kind of like interactive like National Trust or heritage places when you're a kid? Like school trips, loved it. And you'd go to like a Victorian manor house or something, and then they'd have these waxwork like figures like sat in like on tables and pretending to do like washing and shit like that, or like sat around a dinner table like showing the like ancient cuisines and stuff that they used to eat back in the days of yore. They were always so fucking terrifying, like so scary. Well, my dad used to like make up stories, and he'd like do these voices and like pretend that he was like, when at night when everyone goes home, all of a sudden these waxwork figures start to come alive, and they do like really fucked up shit, and they like steal kids and like kill them and stuff.
Well, it's a thing called the uncanny valley. It's the thing we mentioned previously on the show. You see it in computer graphics, how they can never really quite make
the shit out of me, dude.
Well, they're getting close. I mean, to bring it back to Terminator, in Terminator Genesis, you had like the CGI Arnold, and he looked pretty good. Better than the
still terrifying.
Yeah, but better than the Terminator Salvation Arnold, which was 2009. So obviously it's improved, but it's called the uncanny valley when it's something.
Ethan, we will never speak of Salvation ever again.
It's when something looks looks like it should, but there's some weird thing that makes you go, nah, it's the lighting or the way it behaves or a blink or a flicker or the way the light affects the skin of the thing you're studying. It's called the uncanny valley, when something's slightly weird, but it's a familiar item. And that's something that's dogged, obviously, robotics and CGI for like making people, especially, or living things we're used to seeing. And yeah, but I guess it will get better and better and better. And in 50 years, we will have amazing sex robots.
And you'll be dead.
And on that bombshell.
Yeah, sorry. On that bombshell.
We should wrap up. Thank you for listening, viewers. Please, by the time this comes out, hopefully, or a few hours after, please go and listen to my interview with Bill and Ted star Alex Winter about his latest film, Deep
Dude,
Web.
I'm going to fucking listen to it. I'm excited.
Oh, it's lots of fun. It's 30 minutes long, so it won't take up too much of your time. But no, it was really good. I loved it. Loved it.
Good.
Great.
It's good to hear some fucking zing and pep in your voice again.
That's probably just the high
Coca-Cola.
fructose corn syrup destroying my brain as we speak and giving me onset early Parkinson's.
You gotta tie sometime, baby.
I'll probably piss my pants and forget my name by Friday, so it'll all work out. It'll all come out in the wash.
Hasta la vista.
Baby.
Watch out for machines. They're unstoppable. Watch out for machines.